it's Mandy. I have another little project that I'm working on today, and that is my crazy office. I told you guys before that I got a job that allows me to work at home most of the time. I have to go into the office 1 day a week. The rest of the time, this is where I'm working now. Since we're in a new house, this was originally where my office was going to be whenever I was working at the first job that y'all know I had. So we had already bought this house that had a retreat off of the master bedroom for the purpose of it being my office. So it is my office, and true to my nature, my office is a disaster, just like it used to be whenever I was in the bigger office. I also have different furniture now. So anyway, here is where all the magic is and all the disaster area of everything is. So this is not work related. This is all like personal related stuff, household related, all that good stuff. So a lot of stuff I got to go through. There's even more down here. This is all swim stuff from whenever Xander goes on his field trips with his homeschool group that he is very involved in. Yay! We found a great group for him and is being awesome. So, and I'm sorry I look like Mag the Hag today. It's just been one of those days at work. It was just nonstop trying to get caught up from whenever we went on our vacation trip. I'm going to get started on cleaning all this mess up, and I'll film as I go, and yeah, you'll see what the end result is. And while I'm cleaning, I'll talk to y'all about vacation, or how we like to say it here, vacation. So we went to Pigeon Forge and rented a cabin with us, my mother-in-law, my daughter and her family, including our granddaughter from Texas. She comes in once a year, so she was able to come for this trip. Oh, here I'm showing you my paper cut. It never fails. Every time I go through mail, I get at least one. I even got a letter opener to try to prevent these, and it still doesn't help. So the first night we knew it was going to rain, so we went to a dinner show, Dolly Parton Stampede. My husband took our grandson to get his face painted before the show, and apparently they get a cowboy hat, a bandana, and a lasso, along with lasso lessons. So it was so cute watching him try to lasso and everything. He also loved the show. He's such a spunky, full of life kid, so when we go to these shows, it's more fun watching him than it is watching the show itself. And of course, we've been to these shows multiple times, so we already know what to expect. But, our grandson hasn't gone, and Xander went when he was younger, so some of it's new to him too. And then my daughter, she went before, but her husband hasn't gone, and neither has our granddaughter. So it was new experiences for almost everybody in our group. So the next day, we went to Dollywood, another one of our favorites. We used to do season passes, but now with my husband's new job, one of the perks he gets is we get admission for free for me and the kids and him. And of course spent a bunch of our money inside the park once we got in. We always get pork rinds, we get the season cups, and because we go several times out of the year anyway, because it's only like a 3-hour trip for us. So going to Dollywood is a good day trip for us sometimes. So we saw the dog trick show. Jackson loved that. He rode a lot of the rides, which, he'd been scared to ride rides, but since we could ride with him, he rode more. And then Xander rode more roller coasters this year, which meant I had to ride on my own, which was a new level for me, as I recently only got over my fear of roller coasters. I determined that my fear was purely based on whether I can hold on or not. Once I figured that out, I'm able to ride everything there, except for the lightning rod. I rode it once and said never again. When we went, they unfortunately haven't opened up the new ride, so we weren't able to go to that one, but we were able to, enjoy the Big Bear Mountain one, which is still fairly new. So that's one of Xander's favorites as well. The third day, we had a hodgepodge of stuff. We went to Wonderworks. We went to the track to ride go-karts. They are actually closing at the end of this season, so we wanted to make sure we made it there because, for one, we had cards that still had money on it, so we needed to use up the rest of the money. But also because we'd literally gone every single year. It's a tradition to go to the track. It'd be lovely to dream. Upside down. And it's backwards. Lovely to dream. So it's really sad that they're closing after all this time, but I'm hoping that they put something better in its place or just get under new ownership and the same stuff stays there. That would be awesome. We also utilized the arcade that was there, which the arcade was insane with how much they get to do for the tickets that they got on their cards. So, but just an FYI, it's a good thing for the kids. We also went to Guy Fieri's Flavortown to eat dinner. It was really good food. There wasn't anything that was bad, so I highly recommend. They also have an arcade there, which it has, a little bit more adult prizes, so that was good. I mean, they still have the kids stuff too, but I at least, got a egg griddle thing, so that's good since I'm eating more eggs. Then we went to mini golf at Mermaids of Pirate Bay, which is a really cool putt-putt course. It's got an indoor putt-putt course. It's got outdoor putt-putt. We went to the indoor one just because I don't know why we did the indoor one. We just did. I don't know. One pile down. Couple more to go. Reward for making it through one pile. Took me 18 minutes to get through the one pile. This other pile's smaller, so it shouldn't take as long. But we did that, and also they have cups there that you can literally come in at any time and get refills on, which is crazy, for slushies, which was very cool. So we all had a slushie while we did putt-putt, which is very nice, and we had a blast, and my husband really loved the putt-putt course. He has a goal to go through all the putt-putt courses throughout his entire life. He wants to go through all the putt-putt courses in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. We have not managed to get that done yet, but hey, we try. But they come up with new ones every time. Like, they have at least 2 new putt-putt courses, the Mermaids of Pirate Bay, but then they also have a Scooby-Doo one that we noticed was new, and he's like, dang it, I'm never going to get all these done. The last day that we were there, we went to one of my mother-in-law's favorite things, which was Skyfly, and this is where Nana gets to fly through several wonders through the United States. It's definitely something that you can do multiple times and see something new that you didn't catch the first time, and now they've even extended the video, so there's even more fun. It's kind of a multi-sensory thing. Okay, that's my second pile. So, another treat. Yeah, I know it's so bad that I only get these when we go to Pigeon Forge. So, I'm gonna enjoy them while I have them. Okay. So now, I'm going to move further in. So some of this is work stuff, some of this is regular just notes I take as I go through my work day, which have more to do with personal stuff. It just depends. Like, it'll spray water at you. It's a mist. It's not like pounds of water hitting you and stuff at times in the video and things, and there's wind blowing, and but it's such an experience. It's hard to even explain it, but it's so cool that I would highly recommend it. Our new goal is to find a good arcade, as we normally do that the last day of our trip. So we've always gone to Laserport for years, but the last few times we've gone, it's been disappointing, and the prizes have been crappy and all that. So trying to find one is a work in progress because we still haven't found one we really liked. Right now, it does look like Guy Fieri's Flavortown Arcade looks to be the best one at this point, but we're really hoping we can find more. We also went to get my taffy, of course, and then my husband always gets pralines, and then we get some old-fashioned candy as well. So like Xander gets to pick some candy out that he likes or he wants to try, and it's always interesting because there's old candy that we had growing up that he's never experienced, so we get some of that too and have him try some of it, and it's been amazing how much has become his favorite because of that. This was actually one of our scaled back trips. In fact, I remember the first trip that we made to Pigeon Forge, I cried because we had done so much stuff that I was so tired. And I just remember saying, when are we ever gonna stop? Y'all just keep going, and I'm just so tired. My feet hurt and everything. Of course, that was forever ago. And also when things were able to stay open until like 2 a.m. And we would literally stay out till 2 a.m. and then get up at 8, go have breakfast, and then go to the Dollywood the next day. That's how we played. We played hard. Work hard, play hard. But we can't do that now, except for the island. They're the only ones that stay up late, and I don't think they even stay up until 2 a.m. Okay, so I thought I would go through a little bit about the process. I've gone through a lot of different decluttering, cleaning, various different thought processes on decluttering and cleaning throughout the years. Most of you all know I pretty much followed the Fly Lady, but when it came to organizing, when it came to cleaning and things like that, I've discovered that she didn't go into as much detail on those things. So, like, for example, she says you declutter for 15 minutes a day. Well, what do you declutter? How do you declutter? That kind of thing. So that's when Dana K. White's no mess decluttering method came in handy. So whenever I went through my desk just now, went through my papers first because I just knew that was going to take a while, which is trash. You always look for trash, and I knew in that pile I was definitely going to have trash. Then you look for the easy stuff, so things that you already know what to do with. I kind of went out of order on that, to be honest. A lot of times when it's easy stuff, like things that just need to be put away, I set those aside and I put them up later. Not later as in like later that same day or 2 days later. It's after I get done with the area, the last thing I do is to put the stuff away that I know is easy. So, and the only reason why I do that, I mean, some of it I did right then because y'all saw me leave, but then other things I held on to. So like I've got this small little pile here. It's got fingernail polish, a hair clip, sunscreen, and stuff from a toothache, which I actually use these for cold sores. I had all these things. All of these go to one room, the bathroom. So I just find it easy that once I discovered that I had several things that were going to go to the same place, I stopped going back and forth and decided to hold on to that. Another pile of stuff was some more mail. Now this isn't my mail, this is my son's mail, and then there's like one for my mother-in-law that somehow got mixed in with my mail. So I'm going to go take these to the kitchen where I have their little mailbox area for their stuff. They got like little slots. So I'm going to take those too. So it's just easy for me to take one trip, put those things away, and then come back. So that's kind of what I do. So anyway, so that's the easy stuff. Now, if I ever get to a point where my easy stuff is too much and it's falling over or something like that, then I'll stop and I'll go put those things away, because clearly I had more stuff that didn't belong here that needs to be put away than I could handle in one swoop. So basically, once it gets to be more than like a handful, then I'll normally stop and go do that. Then I went through what was basically left, which was different odds and ends and stuff. And so I kind of grouped together the things that were left to handle them. So for example, I had note cards. So I knew the note cards were just going to be random things that I thought of and wrote down and stuff. So I went through those note cards, got rid of the ones I didn't want to keep anymore. So got rid of trash. And then anything I wanted to keep, determined if it was work related or if it was personal related. If it was personal related, I put it in my Sunday basket. And then anything that was not personal, that was work related, I kept here, which actually anything that was work related just needed to be thrown away because it was old information by this point anyway. So then I had like some sticky notes that were all grouped together, and there was like maybe one work thing in all of that, and it was throwaway too. It was old information. All the personal stuff, again, put in my Sunday basket because it was just another way I was taking notes. Really, they should have been on a note card, but I put them on a sticky note, so I was just going to deal with that later. So all that is being housed in my Sunday basket. Now the Sunday basket, that comes from Lisa Woodruff, who is over Organized 365. I follow her as well. She is really good at having systems for your paper and thinking of your house from a CEO perspective, or managing your household more. So to me, she's useful for that part, for the planning, for the organization of the things that are moving within the household and planning. I'm not a natural planner, so as you can tell, I'm not following it very well because I had all this crazy stuff everywhere. I have a Sunday basket, but I don't do it every Sunday, and that is my downfall. I am not disciplined. And you guys know that because you've seen me handle things before in my office way back in the day, and I kept saying to myself, which was kind of funny, is I was kind of on the realm of figuring it out of, I've got all this stuff, I really need to look through it every week. I remember saying that, and then at one point I said, I'm going to set an alarm for me to do this every week and go through my mail and all that stuff. Well, that's essentially the Sunday basket in a nutshell. There's way more to it than that, but that's kind of how you get started on it. Her systems are very good for keeping that stuff organized. So I will say that part is good. Then there was just random things like I had medicine, so I went ahead and put that up that had gotten delivered. Oh, cleaning cloths that I'd washed and I just set on my desk for some reason. Don't know why I set it on my desk, but just didn't make it back to the cleaning closet, so I put that away. Just little odds and ends like that. So that was my desk. Okay, so I still have this stuff I gotta go take to the bathroom and then to the mail slot, and then I'll show you where I'm at from there. Okay, so here is where I'm at basically on my desk. So much better compared to how it was. I could barely even do anything on my desk, so that's good. And anything that I use frequently now has a home. Most of it's there. Now my mail that I opened up, a lot of it's here, and this is basically where I put my stuff that needs to be shredded, and that's going to be shredded, and then anything that was trash has gone into my trash can, so it's ready to go. And you know, that's stuff that don't have personal information on it basically. So anywho, I do have a couple of things that still need to have homes, and one thing I have learned through going through organizing is everything needs a home. If it does not have a home, then guess what? You don't know what to do with stuff when it's time to clean. So everything needs a home. If it doesn't have one, you've got to make one. So things that need homes, it's either going to be a permanent home or it's going to be a temporary home, but either way, everything needs a home. So I have candy because I have a sweet tooth, and I tend to snack mostly at my desk, which is not a good habit to have. But like I said, this is just temporary having this candy here, and it's Jawbreakers and taffy. So basically I'm killing my teeth right now. But anyway, these have bags that have them contained, and then I have a drawer here that is going to be my temporary candy drawer. Not a permanent fix, but a temporary home, just to have it put away so I don't have to sit here and stare at it. Now, my planner goes in my Sunday basket because I pull it out during my Sunday basket time when I do it on a normal basis, and that's where this is going to go. So that keeps that out of the way. Now, I have this little thing from a cleaning wall spray that I bought because in the laundry room, that big project that I'm working on, I'm going to be cleaning the walls. So I got that, and then this is basically the pamphlet that came with it that tells you tips and things like that. Yeah, here it is. It gives me directions on how to use it. So I've got that, and then this is a little thing that goes on a bucket if you're to use it that way. Honestly, I don't see myself using it that way, so I'm probably just going to get rid of this part because I just don't see myself ever using it. So this is going to go to donate. But this I'm going to put in my cleaning closet that has this little attachment with it. Lisa's new book, Escaping Quicksand. I bought this because I wanted to be in her book club for this book reading, which also gave me early access to the book, but it was all done through audiobook. But now I've got the physical book. I was going to go through this and basically make notes through it for myself as part of that. So I will put this in my Sunday basket as a to-do. Okay, now, anything that's left, let's see here. I've got my plug to my laptop, so which my laptop stays here for the most part. So I'm going to plug it in because it should have been plugged in. All right, sorry about that. So there's that. So that is ready. This stapler actually goes in my room where I have some drawers that have my supplies in it. And while I am going, I'm going to go ahead and take this. And then I have some dog treats I'm going to take to the dog room, to the laundry room. Dog room, I keep calling it a dog room. It's not a dog room. So I'm going to take that to the laundry room. Then, once that's done, my desk is clear. And everything has a home from there. So, yay! All right. So that will be good. So I'm going to take a small break, and then I'll be back while I go put these things up and just take a small break. Okay, so this is the next area that I'm going to work on. Now, a lot of this is just, honestly, I feel like it's a project I keep coming back to and keep having to redo because I keep piling more to it. And it starts from my Sunday basket and it spews out. So some of this stuff is long-term paperwork and some of it is short-term paperwork, and for some reason I don't get far enough to where I spread that out more, or not spread it out, but get the long-term papers out of here and into the notebooks that I have set aside for that. But that is something I wanted to that is a project I wanted to work on this summer as well, is getting some of that long-term paperwork into notebooks where it will actually be helpful to my family. Again, that's part of Organized 365 with Lisa Woodruff. That is her paper solution part. But I've not taken that part of her course yet. I mean, I've done the big sort, which is funny because now I kind of am back in the big sort again. But I haven't gone as far as getting everything into the notebooks, which is basically the final step of the paper solution. So anyway, I'm going to work on this and go through all of this. Majority of this is papers. At least it's not mail that hasn't been opened. At least I hope it's not. I think it's just random papers and things, some of the stuff from our trips and things like that too. So I will go through this and we'll see where we get. It was a fun trip. We were definitely all exhausted by the time we got back. It was a great long weekend and it was just an awesome trip.
Hi. Hello world.
And the fact that we got to have literally everybody with us made it even better. So definitely memories to last a lifetime. And of course, I took tons of pictures. I'm done with this area. The only thing I got left is there's a tape measure in here, and I got my wood glue that needs to go to the laundry room, and this needs to go in my husband's tool box. I have filled up my trash bag all the way, or trash can all the way now, with trash. Here's what I did though. Index cards and pens are right here. I've got my scanner right here, which is for a project where I'm scanning our old photos for the family. And so I've got those in this cart here, plus I've got more in suitcases. This is my portable Sunday basket, which is basically where I put everything that I'm working on this week, or at least the last time I went through my Sunday basket. This is my full Sunday basket, so this has everything. These here are kind of like projects that I'm working on. Some of them I have in project boxes, and then some I don't have in project boxes. This is some of my old planning journals from Organized 365 because I sometimes like to look back at them for, you know, if it's like if I'm planning spring and I have the one from last spring, I may look at it to see what all I put into it. So you don't have to, you know, reinvent the wheel every time, which is helpful. Here is my long-term papers. So, or reference papers basically, but reference is kind of divided up into several things in the paper solution into several different binders. So these are separated according to the binders that they're going to go into, which I will further organize this later because I have more slash pockets that actually allow for better organization of that. But I'm not doing that today. That'll be another day. My main thing was to get my flat surfaces back today. So I've got that. These notebooks here are old organization curriculum. So I've talked about several of the people that I follow. Alejandra, I've got Dana K. White, I've got the Minimal Mom, I've got Cass from Clutterbug, Fly Lady, Lisa Woodruff. Heck, there's even some random ones that I don't even know who all they come from anymore. So I have some of those in these notebooks, and then I have the rest of them are in this folder that's labeled home management, oddly enough. So I knew this was a home management thing before there was a home management thing because I made this folder eons ago. So anyway, now I've got everything sorted better on my flat surfaces, so I can actually function more in this room. However, I still have quite a bit of clutter in the floors. There were a couple of boxes that were below this desk that I broke down, so I have a couple of those over here, and then threw away the paper that's in there. And once again, I get this all the time. Why don't you recycle? I can't recycle here. They do not have recycling. Heck, I'm lucky to even be able to go to the dump to dump our trash. It's a long story. It just has to do with where we live. We live in the county, but the county doesn't see us as living in the county because we're too close to another city. And that city doesn't recognize us because we're outside of those city limits. And then our other city that we're more a part of for the county that we're in doesn't recognize us either because we're not in the city limits of that one either. So there's just no recycling program we can use. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So I have to throw away everything. So Xander's cat's in here meowing. What are you doing? Now she's getting up on the table. This is Xander's kitty cat named Kitty. We actually got her. She came to work in a box with her brothers and sisters, and she was a little bitty kitten and wasn't even fully weaned. As you can see, she's still very, very loving because of that. But she got left next to the juvenile detention center that was in our town, and one of our technicians found the box and brought it into the office. And that's when I asked my husband, I said, can we keep her? And brought her in, and she was the size of her head. Her whole body was the size of her head. So, and we had to bottle feed her and everything. But Xander loves her to death, and he actually takes good care of her. I'm very surprised. So, much better than any of the dogs he took care of. But anyway, because of that, she climbs up and wants you to basically baby her. Literally like a baby. But anyway, So I'm going to stop here today. I'll work on some more of this tomorrow, the floor part, because it's been a long day and I'm just tired and stuff. So I'm gonna go rest, and then we'll see what all we can get done tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If you enjoyed today's video, I'd love to have you subscribe and join our little community. Until next time, let's make home our favorite place to be.